Y'all, life is not making that much sense right now in terms of the cost of everything thing. Tell me why I just had to spend $400 to register my car. Yes, $400 for a piece of paper. I haven't bought any Christmas gifts. Zero. None. Not one. And the way that it's looking, y'all not getting nothing. Y'all ain't getting nothing from me because groceries are too high, car insurance too high, car bills, everything is high. They're going to increase rent. As soon as the lease renews, they're going to increase the rent. So what is this?
Surviving in this economy. I'm not even trying to be funny. Everything costs $2 million. My Celsius, $6. If you live in a big city, the only way you're going to be able to save any type of money is if you lock yourself in a dungeon and never come out. Because the cost of living is just too expensive.
I'm currently having a legitimate panic attack to where I feel like I'm going to break down any second. So if you don't know, I'm a teacher, and I just feel like a lot of us in our 20s can relate on the fact that we can't afford life, and it hits me in spurts on like, oh God, I'm struggling, and it's so hard. And it's so hard to put into words because yes, like I guess I can afford rent and all that stuff, but I have to literally hustle every single day and do like multiple jobs and multiple things just to be able to buy groceries. But I'm a teacher, and it really weighs on my mental health because then I'm so busy, and I never get a free moment to myself, and I'm literally freaking out in my car right now, and I feel like I can't catch a break with like finances, and it's like literally weighing on me so heavy right now that I want to like throw up. I have to go grocery shopping right now, and like I can't even afford like the chicken I'm gonna buy, and like I'm gonna pay my credit card, and it's too much, and I don't buy anything for myself really.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Hope, and we back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about how the younger generation is giving up on this entire economy. They're done. They are so done. Like completely done, because they can't afford to eat, can't afford the housing, can't afford anything. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that. But before we do, if you'd like to go ahead and stay laced up on what's going on in the economy, please, this is your channel, subscribe, and we're gonna go ahead and make sure we keep getting that content out there. Don't forget to like, get this out into the algorithm so people can go ahead and know what's going on in these streets. But besides that, no time waste, let's get into the clips.
Are we all fighting for our lives financially right now, or is it just me? I have a good degree. I work 3 jobs. I budget the hell out of my money to an annoying like obsession. Like I'm watching every single penny I'm spending because I'm trying to pay off all of my student loans. But times are tough right now. Like, man, I feel like the more you work, the more you have to pay for. And it's tough out there right now. Like I think I do well, and then I look at my bank account and I'm like, oh my God. Or I go to the grocery store and I'm like, oh wow, eggs are $10 again. Woohoo. Like, man, it is tough right now. And sometimes I feel like I'm the only one, because sometimes I'll look and I'll be like, oh my God, all these people I know are like traveling and buying nice things. And I'm like, wow, how? Is there a secret? Someone help.
A lot of people are saying, why are people so angry right now? Why are people so upset? People are so miserable right now. I'm going to tell you why. Bro, outside costs $150 minimum. Just stepping out your house costs $150. Let me do the math for you. You got to get gas, right? Now, if you're in California, then I'm not in California. I was just out there a couple weeks ago. They gas like $6, $5, something like that. So if you got to put in a full tank, man, let's just say you got a car, bro, that's like $45, $50 minimum right there, just to get your tank on full. Then when you go out to eat at these places that have green grass on the wall and the food is probably mid at best, yeah, they're also going to charge you a leg and a foot for that as well. That's going to be another probably 30 to 20, somewhere between $25 to $40 if you want a really good solid meal. Then on top of that, rent prices for a decent neighborhood where you're not getting shot at or getting shot around, you're going to pay $1,500 for that. In most metro cities, at least in the South. I can't speak for California. I can't speak for New York. I can't speak for those other places. But at least in the South, you need to be paying probably about $1,500 in rent to feel somewhat safe. And oh, don't let me stop. Groceries. Let's start there. Groceries are extremely expensive right now. Extremely. Like, bro, I think I paid like $4 for eggs the other day ago. And I was like, bro, are we in the South? I'm like, bro, what's going on? The point is, the reason people are mad is because this economy is terrible, bro. That's why people are upset. Regular folks are barely surviving right now. That's the truth. People can get on Twitter and get on here and act like they're rich. They're broke. And they're living check to check just like most of America is right now. So that's why people are upset. They can't buy houses. You almost have to make probably about, if you're by yourself, you probably have to make in the South, again, I'm just using the South. If you want a decent home in a decent area, you're probably about to pay. You probably need to make about 100, over 100, like 125,000 probably, to live in a decent home in America where you're not living check to check. That is why people are mad right now.
Y'all want to know what people never speak about? Nobody ever talks about how hard life is in your 20s. Some of us are in college. Some of us are working a 9-to-5 trying to figure out what we want to go to college for. Some of us are even wondering if we should or should not go to college. Because at this point in life, we don't know if it's really worth it or not. Some of us got kids. Some of us are in debt. Some of us stay with our parents still. And some of us got our own house with our own bills. But whatever the case may be, if you a young adult in your 20s and you grinding hard and you don't know what's going to happen next in your life, I salute you, because I'm in the same boat. I get up every day hustling and grinding, praying that God reveals my purpose one day soon. Listen, y'all, we gonna make it. We all gonna make it to the top. Stay focused and keep grinding, y'all. Do not give up. I promise y'all. Stay focused.
Being young right now in America is a totally different beast. You need at least 3 jobs for you to be able to go ahead. I'm talking 2 full-time jobs or a job, part-time job, and a side hustle, just for you to go ahead and make ends meet right now. So imagine how young people are feeling at this moment. It's insane and it's very tough, but not to say that not all generations had to sacrifice. Of course, all generations had to sacrifice, but right now this inflation is insane. But I'm not gonna harp too much. Let's go ahead and hop into these comments right now. All right, top comment here. It's hard. I feel like the only thing I've done right is not bring any kids into this mess. That's a real unfortunate comment, because it's the truth and reality that you can't even afford to take care of yourself. How are you gonna take care of kids? How am I going to take care of kids when I can't afford my bills? Not going to work. Not a good situation. So I do think it's responsible. If you can't take care of yourself, don't bring in kids into this world. But it is sad that you have to be at a point to where you can't even have a kid in this world. Man, dang, tough out here. All right, next comment here. Only thing keeping me alive is my delusions. Whoa. Okay, hold on. And your faith that you know is going to be okay. I know, hey, this is TikTok. It's a little funny in the jokes, but it's okay. We're young. We're going to get through this mess, but it's okay. Please leave a comment down below. Let this person know it's okay. You're not alone. Everybody is here for you. We in America. We're going to be all right. Last comment here. My 20s is giving the ghetto. The trenches, actually, but I'm trying to stay strong. Yeah, it's tough out here, but you got this. I do like this comment because it's funny, but it is feeling like tough out here. You know, when you're young, you ain't got too much resources. You got to build, you got to do what you got to do, but there's always light at the end of the day, and I like a little laughter at that too. So let's go ahead and hop into the next clip.
It's crazy how we're told that we qualify for rent between $1,300 to $2,000 for these small ass unupgraded apartments in this economy, but we don't make enough to qualify for decent houses. Like, that is crazy. Like, no one's addressing that, and I think that's why our generation has a right to be so mad about the current state of everything, because we're the ones that are taking the brunt of everything that's happened. Like, I hate that I qualify for X amount of dollars in rent, but I'm having a hard time finding a lender that's willing to give me enough for a home that is decent and a good size. And if I was to get the home that I want, I'll be paying the same amount in mortgage that I'm paying in rent. And that is crazy that they're saying that we can't afford that. It is crazy. Like, I went to college, I got my degree, and I'm working up in my career field. I make a decent salary, but it's like, since inflation happened, they just moved the goalpost. And what used to work 4 years ago doesn't work today. So it's another goalpost that we're going to have to get. And it seems unattainable because inflation's not slowing down anytime soon.
How are we, like, managing our income and debt? You see, I think it's okay if I say this on TikTok. This is my personal platform. I have approximately $30,000 in student debt. I don't regret that. If you're in my comments saying, like, you should have gone to trade school, that's just not what I wanted for my life. Thank you very much, though, for your concern and your comments. But I have approximately $30,000 of student debt, and I have a very good job that I'm extremely grateful for. But despite, having a really good job and living fairly frugally, like, I'm not the biggest spender. I don't buy new clothes all the time. I don't have a ton of credit card debt. My credit card debt is very reasonable. It's like groceries, the occasional going out to eat. There are some like non-negotiables for me, like things that just make me happy. Like occasionally getting a Starbucks strawberry acai. Like, you get the picture. Like, I'm really not a big spender, but I can't seem to get out of this student debt, and I can't seem to rise above not having enough money. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Does anybody else have this issue? How are we getting out of this? What are we doing?
The American dream as we know it is dead. There is no reviving the American dream. These 4 things destroyed the American dream for the new generation. Number 1, housing prices. You now need $120,000 to $150,000 in salary to comfortably afford the average house in this country. There's so many people under 40 who cannot afford that, so they're forced to rent. And when you have so many people renting, the rent price continues to rise. And you have an entire generation spending 30, 40, 50% of their income on rent, and you wonder why they're broke. And if they're thinking about buying a house and saving up $80,000 to $100,000, that seems impossible. But then if you want to have a kid or 2 or 3, that's going to cost you $2,000 to $3,000 in daycare. And then the last thing is college. They say the average person in this country has about $40,000 in debt in college, and kids are getting out of school at 23, 24 years old, and they're stuck with a $600 monthly payment for the next 10, 15, or 20 years. When millennials graduated college, we could get a 1-bedroom apartment by ourselves for $600, and these Gen Z kids are now spending $600 a month just on their college. This is why the American dream has died, and why we need to come up with a new American dream and redefine the American dream.
Now, I absolutely do believe that the American dream, if not dead, has absolutely changed. This previous thought of getting a white picket fence and living a better generation than your parents or the previous generation before then, no. Unless you are balling or you striking, you making some money, which is possible, please don't think that you can't get rich within a year. You can absolutely do it. You just got to sacrifice and take your time. But with that being said, the majority of us Americans, that American dream is far out of reach. Just from these statistics by itself is insane. Those 4 reasons. I mean, do you agree? Please let me know your thoughts. But let me go ahead and hop into the comments and see what people are talking about. All right, top comment here. The American dream is to move to another country. Man, that's... I want to say, no, that's not true, but... yeah. I mean, the American dream is to really have your income coming in from America and you living in another country. That's the true American dream. Because your dollar goes a lot further around the world. So that is the true sauce. So if she's meaning that, yes. But leaving America, it's America. All right, next comment here, we have the American nightmare now. Yes, I mean, honestly, who else feels like that? Who else feels like trying to catch that dream, that allure, that people are talking about buying that house, doing all this is a nightmare. You can forget about it. It's not happening. I know that's a sentiment right now for a lot of people, but again, it's possible. I'm not here to say ain't nothing impossible. This is hope. Hope in the desert. Through all the resources and scarcity, you still got it. Don't worry about it. And the last comment here, the new dream is survive. Yeah, I mean, that's shoot. Just being alive every day is a dream, baby. Come on. No, I understand. Yeah, I know what you mean. Not having no money sucks. Just being able to survive is the new dream of America. That's what it's feeling like more and more every day. Every day. But again, don't give up hope. Build. Sacrifice. We're in our 20s right now. We can go ahead and build our income. If you have to sacrifice, you have to sacrifice. Live with roommates. Go back home with your parents. Have a whole entire video on that. Link right here if you want to go watch that.
So exhausting to be so stressed about money all the time.
I sympathize with her, and I'm sure a lot of you do too, because it feels like you did everything by the rules, right? You went to college, you got the job, and you're just feeling crushed, either under a mountain of student debt or like rent or groceries, and you just cannot afford the things that this job was supposed to afford you. So what do? You start trading more time for money, right? So that you can make more money. So you go after promotions or raises, and that means that you're either putting in extra hours at work, or you start a side hustle and you're putting in more extra hours there, and you're just like stuck in this hamster wheel of trading time for money. And this is why I tell you guys to invest your money, because otherwise you're going to be stuck in this cycle forever. So you actually have to get your money working for you, so you actually are beating inflation in the long run, and you can stop working someday and not be this stressed.
After years and years and years of hearing the same advice that your parents told you and because their parents told them that's what you have to do, it no longer applies. Absolutely not. This whole going to college and getting a degree and being able to settle down off of one job and taking care of your... No. The way our dollar is going now and the inflation is not going to get better. It's only going to continue to get worse because we're going to continue to spend, continue to borrow, we're going to do that. This dollar is only going to get weaker. So we have to build our resources right now. And that's the only way. You have to invest. You have to invest. But I do feel bad for all the people who took the advice and are struggling right now because they're like, I listened to my parents. What am I supposed to do? It's unfortunate, but they didn't know any better. Or when they were in this time frame, it was totally different from where it is now. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into these comments because this is a good video. Top comment here. Passive income is everything. Facts. Passive income investing, real estate. All right, next comment. I feel this. Went to college and didn't even get my degree, but still have student loans. Oh yeah, no. Are you serious? That student loans is not going away. They're going to follow you. The government's not playing with these student loans. It's unfortunate. And the last comment here. So just recommend Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, yeah, that is a good book. If you haven't read it, please read it. It talks about the importance of using your money in a cash flow quadrant. Sorry. Bloop. But yes, it teaches you how to go ahead and invest your money and make sure your money is growing. There's 4 quadrants. Please look at the book. Robert Kiyosaki, everyone knows who him. If you don't know about it, if you're in the investing world, go look him up.
I just got my new lease agreement because my lease ends next month and freaking out a little bit. Every single year, my rent has gone up by $100. I live by myself. I pay the entirety of the rent on my own. My new rent starting next month is $1,200. $1,200. For one, I don't know how I've even been paying $1,100 for the past month. I don't know how I've been doing it, but I've been doing it. Barely. To divulge some extra information that I probably should not divulge, I get paid every week. And for 2 weeks, I can't touch my paycheck, not even $1, because those 2 paychecks have to go to rent. I essentially don't have any money for 3 weeks most of the time during the month. And that just repeats month after month after month. So I'm not sure about what we're gonna do going forward. Luckily it's my birthday next week and I am going to get a chunk of change that I will be holding on to for dear life. But this is like a big reason why I wanted to be a part of the Creator Fund, because obviously I cannot afford the cost of living, and I need to get my dog a behaviorist, which I also cannot afford. I need to pay off my credit cards, which I cannot afford to do. They have been closed for 3 years. I have been paying them off for 3 years. And I did try looking into like getting a part-time job, but I simply do not have time on top of my full-time job and having a dog that, I need to be home for. So if y'all know any way to make extra money that isn't, OF or something of that sort, and isn't something that I need to leave the house for because I have my dog, let me fucking know. Let me fucking know. I'm poorer today than I was yesterday, and I'm just gonna keep getting more and more poor, so.
So I had a conversation with my boomer dad and boomer uncles about why people didn't want to work anymore, and I said something that I think is true and I want to share it with you. First of all, let me share with you some of their condescending thoughts. One of the points my boomer relatives said is, why do people expect work to be good? It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be comfortable. That's why you call it work. We didn't expect it to be comfortable. We labored in uncomfortable situations and we did it in order to make a living. We didn't expect luxuries. You guys expect luxuries. And let's just derail the conversation twice here for a second. First of all, who is telling them that we want luxury? And that's something that for some reason we're unwilling to put up with uncomfortable situations. All of us worked through college. All of us. I don't know a single person who didn't have a job, who didn't work almost full time all the way through college, even though they were going to college full time. I did that. Almost everybody else I know did that. Secondly, most of us are just asking for healthcare and affordable housing. I don't understand where the concept of luxury is coming from. A place to sleep and have some money to buy food and then maybe go out every once in a while is most of what people are asking for. And not to be terrified of future and retirement and dying poor and lonely. So straight out of the gate, I don't know who is feeding them this bullshit narrative. Now, secondly, a little over a 20-year period of time, the dollar lost almost half of its value. And in 2000, most boomers were in their 40s when that began to happen. Since 1970, there's been a 500% increase or more in the consumer price index. A 1,500% increase in tuition, at least amongst higher education places like Harvard, and only a 10% increase in wages. In addition, baby boomers will not retire and get out of the way so that younger people can have careers, with 50% nearly of millennials and Gen Z, and 1/3 of Gen Xers saying that they've blocked their career progression. So let's return to the main criticism that these boomers had of millennials and Gen Z, that we didn't want to work, we didn't like working, we thought it was too uncomfortable and we didn't want to do it anymore. It's not that we don't want to. It's that the bargain used to be that for 2,000 hours of work a year-ish, you could afford a life. And that's just not true anymore. You can work as hard as you want, you're not going to get ahead. So work has always been bullshit. We've just realized that it's no longer worth doing because you don't get anything for it anymore.
Not that Gen Z doesn't want to work anymore. It's that they're tired of this BS pay. They're tired of not being able to work those hours that was promised in these story, again, coming back to what our parents told us about what we needed to do and we're going to be okay. It's a lie. And so because it's a lie, I'm not going to continue to participate in the lie. But first, let me clarify my words. You have to work to make a living. You have to have income to support your family. But that does not mean you have to work a 9-to-5. There's other ways for you to make income. All right, top comment here. I think boomers consider modern necessities luxuries because they didn't have them. Like they think the internet is a luxury or cell phones. All right, boomers, let me know if you, I know I got some boomers out there. Please drop the comment down below. Do you think cell phones is a luxury and the internet is a luxury? Is that what you said, wasting money on? Please, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Comment here we have, I don't understand the I suffered, so you must suffer the same mindset. Woo! I feel like that's a fair balance take. I mean, just because you went through something doesn't mean I have to go through it, but at the same time, it does build character for you to struggle. So I can get that mindset from the older generation saying, hey, you got to struggle. This ain't going to be a free ride. But then taking it into the younger perspective of knowing that I had to struggle and I have to grow and develop those skills, but I don't have to go the same exact route that you did. I don't have to struggle the way you did. All right, but let's go ahead and hop into the next comment. Please let me know if you feel the same. All right, and the last comment here, an affordable apartment is suddenly a luxury. Ooh. Unfortunately, in 2024, just having any type of living by yourself is a luxury. You not being able to have any roommates or anything like that is a luxury. You being able to have income to sustain yourself is a luxury. Unfortunately, this is the time that we're in, but the only way for us to make it out and have a real solution is to make more money. It's the only way. We can complain all the time, all day on the internet, but we have to make more money, and there's multiple ways to make more money. Invest, work Uber, do overtime, do whatever you have to do, but you got to make more money. But you absolutely do. We're not going back. Prices aren't lowering down. You have to survive, so you got to make more money. However, this is hope in the desert, and no matter how lack the resources is, there's always hope. You can do this. Even though it may be harder and you got to sacrifice more, you're going to have to invest. You're going to have to do things that not party, not do, have roommates, whatever it is. Have that extra income and deploy that extra income. Deploy that extra income. You can either learn how to do YouTube, have a residual income through online. You can either learn how to go ahead and invest into another business or an idea that you have. Or if you just want to continue to stack up your bread, do Uber, do side hustles, doing whatever you got to do to continue to get your money right in order for you to start making moves and going into the right direction. But I'm not going to harp too much into this YouTube. As always, you guys are family, and I appreciate every like, every subscribe, every subscription. Please, if you do want to go ahead and check out some more content on what's going on, go ahead and click on this playlist. I'm going to leave that here for you. Other than that, YouTube has been real, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next video.